There we go. Officially recording. Hi. All right. Thanks. Back again. Thanks for watching. This is the Patel Bros Collectibles podcast, weekly podcast, where we just.
I'm a Patel bro.
Yes, that's my brother from another mother. So we just go over news in the collectibles and video games industry and comic books and whatnot, and we kind of just shoot the shit and enjoy it. And I hope you guys follow. If you guys want to follow along, we will keep the topics in the video description. And without further ado, I am Rish. And my friend and co-host is Carolus. He will be joining me weekly, and then some days we'll have random people coming in. By the way, Dennis said that he wanted to join in one of the podcasts, so we'll have him.
Of course he did. He saw how much fun we're having, and
exactly.
he felt like he was missing out.
Yeah, he was getting a little FOMO, you know. So, all right, let's without further ado get into the topics for this week. And okay, so I sent you over topics. Did you have a chance to review everything? Okay, so first
I did. I looked at everything.
Okay, so we're gonna go in order. First one is the article about the $3.72 million hockey sports card case, like unopened case of sports cards. It was from 1979. It was the year that Gretzky was the rookie, and so that was a big deal. Oh, I think I lost my camera. I think it's the wire. Okay, all right. Let me hold on. Can you still hear me?
I can hear you perfectly.
Okay. All right, there you go. I'm back. All right. Let's.
Don't worry. You can edit this out.
Yeah. I'll be fine.
Technically, what happened? I thought you got to go back to your
my other
the other one. The other one. Yeah.
Up all of a sudden.
Oh man.
Where is it?
We gotta get you a new laptop, brother. Oh, there we go. What is this? This is like paint.
Yeah, it's not that.
This is like paint.
Yeah, see that one's gone all of a sudden.
Your computer can't too much processing, but it looks like you're sitting in a MacBook paint program.
Yeah, I like that one actually. Anyway, it's like the same one, but it's like a bootleg version of that workspace.
Like someone rendered it in paint. They're like, yo, I got you. I'm good at art. This is me.
It was like the boss gave him a job to do, and the guy quit like halfway in. He's like, dude, I'm done with this job.
What do you mean? I quit. I am great at Photoshop. I'm gonna make it look realistic. Don't worry.
Great. Anyway, all right, let's get back into it. So yes, this case of hockey cards is called the O-Pee-Chee case or whatever, and so the real reason
what a name, first of all, what a name. I was like, what pornography are you sending me here?
Yeah, you thought I was like checking you, right? Yeah.
I had to turn on my VPN because Indonesia blocks pornography. So I had to turn on I was like, O-Pee-Chee, they're gonna be like, this dude is into golden showers. I don't know what's gonna happen.
I love messing with people. But anyway, so the real reason why I wanted to highlight this article is because so this is a thing that goes on. I mean, it goes on in like crazy in small volumes, but it's crazy to hear that somebody reneged on a $3.72 million bid that they won on, right? And like it happens to me all the time on my eBay business, right? Where somebody will offer to buy something or win a bid, and won't pay it, and just will waste my time and waste everybody's time. And I would think I got a sale, thinking I'm gonna make money, and boom, the guy just decides not to pay, right? And this is on a much larger scale. Like, can you imagine the dude that decided to put this up for sale? He's probably a collector, right? And he's like, hey, look, I think, you know, I'm gonna sell this, make some money. Maybe he needed money. Maybe he was like liquidating or something, and something like big. And then you sell it for, like, you find out you're selling it for this much money, and then like a week later, you're like, oh shit, this guy just decided not to pay for it. Like,
yeah, but like, the article also mentioned that the guy that bought it said that he sent 3 million, right? He said that he he paid 3 million, and they're like, we never received any. It's like one of those, you know, like, oh, the check is in the mail, guys. The check is in the mail.
Yeah, like he tried to get them to like send it, right? Like he was like playing them, and like he think, like, you're like, come on, man, like we're not children, you know, like, especially if you're dealing in this kind of situation.
I mean, for that amount, that's
like even the guy who decided to sell it, he was, I'm sure if he got to the point where he could afford that kind of a collectible item, he's not a stupid guy. You know, like he's a fairly successful dude. So, you know, like, to like just be like, hey, yeah, the payment's coming. Just send it. Don't worry about it. I'm good for it. I'm good for 3.72 million, right?
No, I mean, I'm glad you started that it happens to you a lot on smaller volumes, because that was going to be my question. Like, how often does that happen in terms of, you know? So I was always wondering, like, again, in smaller volumes, you know, because the money's not so much and people are not dependable. But to get to the process where you're bidding on something this large, there has to be a vetting process, right? So it said that the guy is in business and has bought collectibles of close to the same value before and other things, right? So it's like, it's not like that guy wasn't vetted that he didn't have the money, right? It's just that how often does that happen in like at those large scales where we are talking millions of dollars? And it's a huge thing. Now, but before we get it, okay, answer that question first to me, and then I have another follow-up on that.
Okay, so 100%. Especially when you're talking about these kinds of price tags and these large kind of auction houses, like these famous auction houses that go back for, you know, hundreds of years, these guys ask for like proof of funds before you're allowed to even bid, right? So then you are showing like your bank statement saying, hey, look, I make money, you know, I can afford to bid for these things. If I win, I can pay for it. So that is completely a valid point. Like that, there is, especially at this scale, there's definitely a vetting process. The fact that this guy got through, I think what happened is this guy is probably an avid collector, and he probably spends a lot of money in this auction house. So they thought like, hey, he's good for it. But then probably something happened. He realized, I don't really want it, and he just decided not.
Right.
You know, like I don't know, and because I highly doubt.
So what would my follow-up question is, right? Yeah. So I understand. Like, as I said, the way that he mentioned that he obviously has bought from them before. So my follow-up question is, will this now affect his buying potential and bidding potential for next lots or whatever?
This is what I like about even in my small scale eBay, which is why I prefer to, even though eBay takes a significant amount of commission from every single sale I make, it's still worth it to use their platform because they're very seller friendly, and they penalize bad customers. They penalize customers who frequently do this, right, where they win bids and they don't pay. Right, like you can get banned from the site as a buyer if you don't pay for your items that you promise, especially in auctions. Like if you win an auction, you don't pay, you get a really bad rating, customer rate, or user rating, and then nobody wants to deal with you, right? And then on these larger auction houses, yeah, dude, you get completely blacklisted. Like if you like win an auction, especially of this like magnitude and just like visibility, like, because this is huge, like everybody talks about it, like it's going to be, when something like this at this price tag sells, it's going to be in the news. So if you go around and renege on that, then yeah, you're going to get blacklisted from that auction house. Like you're never going to be able to, like, whoever this guy is, 100% will never be able to unless he like really flashes his money around and shows that he's got whatever money, and he puts it up front. Maybe like, because then a lot of times a lot of these big auction houses also ask for upfront collateral too, you know. So like you got to show that you can afford these things, you know, by putting up collateral.
Gotcha. So my other question is this, right? Like I was having difficulty. I was reading the article, I was looking at the photos, and since I'm not in the collecting world, they kept saying case, right? So for some reason, originally I thought it was like box, but that's not what we're talking about, right? When they say case, they mean like what? Like how many boxes of sealed card packs, right? Because it's not a box. They keep saying case, and then they showed photos of like, so how many boxes are in the case?
Okay, so there.
Or how many sealed packs are in the case? If that's easier.
Well,
to
I
answer.
don't know. Every manufacturer is different, you know. But if it's a standard one, okay. So look, I'm reading this thing. It says 16 boxes, right? So in each box.
Oh wow! So like it's like a pallet.
Yeah, well, not a pallet, but it's big. It's big,
well,
right?
Yeah,
Because yeah, but like so, in each box probably has anywhere from 10 to like 12 packs in there, right? And then each pack has anywhere from like
16
5
boxes
and cards, right? So yeah, I mean, it's not huge, but it's a decent size. I mean, there's
right.
Yeah, there's a lot of cards in there.
Right.
That they're saying,
okay.
yeah, and it even says that you're guaranteed to get at least 25 Gretzky rookie cards. 25. Each one sells for a hefty chunk of change. I mean, I don't know if it sells for 3.72 million, but I mean, you know that.
I think it's in the article it mentions like 90,000. The last one was 90,000.
Yeah, the last sale for the Gretzky, it was like 90,000.
So I mean, but if you guarantee to get 25, but then you still have to open the cases, right? So I mean, open the packs.
Yeah, you would have to do it.
And opening the packs. Oh, I lost you in the connection there.
You lost it? Yeah, you don't see me?
Hopefully we can get it back.
I see you.
Okay.
Yeah,
are you back?
Good? Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Why did you?
So it's still then. Yeah. My connection said connection lost. So my question then would be, it's guaranteed 25 Gretzky's, right? So that's 90,000 times 25. But when you introduce 25, correct, and that's just Gretzky. I'm assuming there's other cards that are.
Yeah, I'm sure there are other. Correct. Yeah.
But in collectibles, sometimes sealed is worth more than opened, right?
Exactly.
That's such a tough choice. Do you then just continue to hold it in that? Like, do you then just continue to hold them sealed and try to sell them again in the future as a seal, or do you separate them into? Oh man, I don't. This is too much, man. I can't take it.
I'm saying the guy who sold this one had to keep it sealed for so long, and he probably bought it from somebody else, because this is what 50 years old almost. What, it was made in 1979. You know, like, you know, that's crazy. You know, like.
Who knows? What if they didn't survive in the seal? What if there's like
exactly? You don't know that, right? That's the gamble. Like, what are the condition of the cards inside that box, right? I mean, likelihood they're really good because it's sealed, because it even has the cellophane, the plastic covering on the outside, and it's not broken. So I mean, it's got to be in the card's got to be in pretty decent condition, which is why it's fetching this high price tag, you know. But right. Yeah, anyway, let's move along. Let's move along.
Thank you for answering all my uneducated questions.
You are more than welcome, my friend. More than welcome. But, let's move on. Next topic is there's an article I sent. Sports card prices are falling. There's a lot of people panicking, saying like this is the end.
Let me answer this question very, very quickly. Yes, it is the end. Yes. Okay, next topic. No.
That was very succinct. Thank you. But just to elaborate a little bit, you're wrong. It's
I know,
not. It's,
I know. I finished the article, but again, this is all this is all predictions, right? This is all predictions. This is not necessarily.
all
This
speculation.
is not necessarily that they're correct or wrong. This is also someone who's in the industry that wants the industry to continue because they write about the industry. So there's a lot of things to give.
But you also have to look
from
at
what I understood, again, it's an adjustment, right? The prices were overhyped over the past few years, overinflated, and now the industry's readjusting to what it usually would do. So
because of look what happened in COVID. COVID caused all of the prices for trading cards, sports cards, everything to balloon so much, and we are just coming out of that era, and cards are just normalizing in price now, but that doesn't mean that that people are stopped collecting and selling. Like you know how many more sports cards conventions there are now going on. Like every week there's one going on. And people
that's
are
what they mentioned is again that it's an increase in volume, right? It's a decrease in value, but an increase in volume. So,
and I'll tell you this firsthand from somebody who started my collectibles business, right? I started with mostly focusing on comics and like trading cards, non-sports trading cards, right? And they were doing great. The second I started adding sports cards to our business, our sales went a lot higher. Like I sell now. I probably sell on an average. I probably per day sell like 3 or 4 items, right? Where I'm sending out to the post office every day. Before, it'd be like a comic book and a couple of trading cards, and now it's almost always all sports cards.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So like the sports card industry is not going anywhere. I mean, I could see maybe the trading card industry, like people stop playing trading card games, but people are always going to watch sports. And if people always watch sports, there's always going to be sports cards related to that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I also think again, like if you play any sports games, I honestly look, I haven't bought Madden in a long time, but like I buy NBA and FIFA, and even in the games you have the card trading already as part of the of the spend your money mechanism. So I feel like that's already ingrained, and then maybe that the digital cards that you don't own after one season, you don't own anything, and they don't move on to the next year's game. So maybe potentially that also entices people to get into the trading. I mean, I'm sure like, trading cards are all for that mechanism being in those games because they want people to then maybe say, okay, well, this is kind of cool. I would maybe potentially want to have something like this in real life. And then, they come on board. I don't know. Do they have that in Madden? Is that mechanic in Madden? Have you bought Madden recently?
I haven't. Honestly, I haven't bought a Madden game in so long. Even though it's
I think for me, it's been like
selling game.
Dude,
Madden.
It's
honestly,
been over.
We talked about that last time, like a couple episodes ago.
It's been like 10 years, I would say. I have not bought a Madden game in 10 years.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not joking. Like I have not. NBA, I pretty much every year. Like I say I'm not gonna buy it, and I end up buying it like halfway through the season. I'm like, okay, fine, I'll get it.
Do they? But they have Madden, I'm like, they have a trading card feature in NBA 2K.
It's part of the game. It's part of the game now. You have to buy trading cards to unlock players, and they have different levels and different skills and different gradings, and you have to like lock it up for 2 hours or 3 days, and you have to pay like in-game currency for them to grade it, and then it becomes more valuable. It's that's the only reason I know anything that I know is because of that.
Wow.
Right.
It's wild that the industry has permeated video games like that. Like I mean,
it's microtransactions. It forces people. It forces people. Like
100%.
Again, I don't spend money on. There's only one trading card game I spend, like virtual trading card game I spend money on, and I'm not very proud to admit it, but it is Magic the Gathering. That's the only one I've ever spent.
My brother does too. He loves Magic the Gathering.
Right, but not in real life. In the freaking digital cards,
like my brother will play it like the video game Magic. I mean, it's a card game too. It's not even like an RPG. It's an actual card game.
Yeah, it's a card game. Yeah,
computer, but he will never play somebody in person. He will never ever. And mind you, there are like tournaments and like people. They have like there's a card shop near us that just sells like non-sports card trading cards, and they have Magic nights all the time, and it's like 5 minutes from my house. house. And I'm like, yo, why don't you
off
go?
Topic.
Like,
Off topic. Off topic. Tell me your brother's screen name. You know his. I
yeah,
need
he
to
would
play
love to
him.
play with
Okay, I
100%.
need to
He
play
would love
him.
to play with. Yeah.
I'm not very good, but I enjoy the game a lot.
He
But
plays a
anyways,
lot. He's
so
good.
I
I mean,
used to
he's,
play a
you
lot.
know, yeah.
I go on these I go I go on like a year of nonstop playing it, and then like I stop for 6 months, and then I'm like, oh, I need to get back, and then I
So
watch a whole bunch of YouTube videos, and then I start playing it again.
well, you know, it's funny because like we're thinking about opening a retail store soon, and I'm gonna have like a big playroom where people can come and play. And I was like, you know, if I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna have to learn how to play these games, you know, because people are gonna always have like disputes and stuff like that. And if I don't know how to like play the game at all, like I don't know how I'm gonna tell anyone.
I have a suggestion.
Yeah.
You don't need to learn how to just hire someone that knows how to play the game.
Well, I'm gonna be there a lot, you know. I'm gonna be working there a lot, so
Yeah.
I mean,
right. But
yeah.
if you hire one of those people that are already into it,
Yeah.
you can learn from them fairly quickly rather than you
That's
trying to
true.
learn
That's
everything,
true.
right? So
Yeah.
hire someone that doesn't plays the games that you don't play. Anyways, that's a different story.
Yeah,
but
that's a different story.
the industry's growing. NBA has
Yes.
a mechanic again. It's microtransactions, and it's like I don't
Yeah, I
spend
think a
money
lot
in
of
the
video
NBA
games do
game.
stuff like that. Yeah.
I don't spend money in
Yeah.
the NBA game, but again, for you
I don't
to
blame
build up your character, honestly, it takes so long and it's so frustrating. Again, I
Yeah,
have
all
a
video
day
games are going
job
in
that
that
I need to
direction.
work, and then I was literally playing NBA 2K24 when I was not working, and I was playing it daily. I think I put in like close to 200 hours, and my
Nice.
character is still like a 79. Like it's just not possible. Like it's not getting
Yeah.
anywhere near because I was
That's the
not going to
problem.
spend money. I was not spending real money to buy
Yeah.
bullshit money in the
No, that's what
freaking
it turns
NBA
me
games,
off
but
from
they
like.
make it so challenging, man.
Yeah,
It's
no, that's
so
what turns me off with a lot of multiplayer games, is especially like online multiplayer games. It just for you to progress and you know, to get better with your character, to get better, you have to either put in a tremendous amount of hours, or you have to pay. And you know, it just seemed
yeah.
like, yeah, it always turned me off from that. But
All I'm
anyway, all
saying,
right.
the Knicks won a championship. So, anyways, 200
Oh,
hours
well,
was worth it.
it's finally. I wish that would happen in reality, but we'll
I
one thing at
know.
a
We'll
time. One
see.
thing at a time. Anyway, all right.
All right,
Moving
what's next on
on.
the agenda?
Okay. Next one's the article. Tops offers $50,000 for rare MLB debut patch. So
I'm
this is
very
a really
confused
cool,
by
interesting
this.
article.
I'm very
Okay. So
confused
I'll
by
explain.
this.
I'll explain. I wrote on your thing, or you know, on the list, that it says bounty on cards, right? So the way it works is a lot of people, a lot of companies in general are putting out bounties for people to do box breaks and pull these like really ultra rare cards. And so once they pull these rare cards, the company or whoever has set that bounty will buy that card from you at that price. You know, so it's so I have like a love-hate relationship with this idea, right? It's because I think it's a I think it's interesting because like you get to like I like seeing it on videos, right? Because you see people like chasing these cards and then they pull these ultra rare like one of one cards and they go crazy, right? But the thing I hate is like these like Topps doing it, right? Topps is doing it to get more sales, right? Because they're saying because they know that by saying, hey, whoever pulls this card, you have to buy a certain amount of boxes, right? They know this. And if
I think they said it's like for you to get that, it's you need to spend $265,000. Like
it's crazy, right?
Like,
and can you imagine? And it's not
to
just
be guaranteed to be it's a
yeah.
one out of 400 chances or something, like one
Yeah,
out of
it was a
400
crazy number, right?
boxes or something.
Exactly. And so like, you know, you it's not just one person doing this. You have a lot of people doing this, but and they're not obviously they're not spending $200,000, but they're spending a lot of money on boxes, right?
Right.
And you know, so like it's fun if it's just like a random collector being like, "Yo, I want to get this card and I want to hire people to bring," like that's fun. But if it's a company doing it like Topps is doing it just to like push their product, you know, that seems a little skeevy.
The confusing thing was, so they get the money for the bounty, but they don't have to give up the card.
No, they do. They have to give the card.
Okay,
Yeah.
So then would you say then at that point that card becomes valued at the amount of the bounty?
Yeah. Yeah. Then at that point, that card is a $50,000 card. And then
Okay.
likelihood is the company will will probably grade it if it's in really good condition, and then sell it for even more money. So they
Right.
will get their $50,000 back, and then they're gonna make a butt ton of money. Everybody else breaking boxes
Right.
trying to look for this card.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a little bit confusing for me. Like again, like
Yeah.
why would a company that makes the card want to pay? I mean, obviously it's to increase their sell. I know the reasoning why. It's just the approach
Yeah.
is it's again, I didn't know that was it. I didn't know that was something that's taking place in the industry, right? Like
Yeah.
again, if it's great if it's like a random kid that's like, you know, or a random collector. I don't want to say a kid because most collectors are not children, but like
Yeah.
it's good if it's someone that's like, you know, like really passionate about it and he buys 2 or 3 packs and in those 3 packs he finds it, right? He's not buying a box.
But
He's just buying it because I know, but I'm saying it would be, and that's like it's kind of, you know, it's such big business now that it's kind of disappointing.
I'll give you an example. For me, like I have to walk a fine line between collector and business, right? Because I've made this into business. I was originally a collector, and now I've made it into a business. And you know, like for example, like right now there is this really rare you know, the anime One Piece, right? They have a trading card game, and there's a really, in the Japanese version, they haven't made an American version. I think the American version is coming out next month, December. But in the Japanese version, there is a gold card, like an ultra rare gold card. It's called the Manga Rare Goldie Roger, right? And so that card right now is valued at $4,000, and people are buying cases. And I'm tempted because I have a contact in Japan that will send me boxes, and they give me a really good price. Like I could get an entire case. That's about 12 boxes, right? And 12 each box has about 12 packs, and I can get a case right now for with shipping.
Don't say it. People will start bothering you about it.
I don't mind helping people out. I'll let people do it. I don't really sell the Japanese stuff. I sell the American stuff, you know. The Japanese stuff, it's only if I pull like really big cards, then I'll sell them, right? But so the Japanese one, it's like $500 with shipping, right? With the box. So I'm like tempted to buy a couple of cases just to like chase this card, right? But you know, that's me as a collector, and I'm not doing that as a bounty. It just seems skeevy when you know, these companies are just doing it to get you to sell, because they're not losing any money. They're not. It doesn't. That $50,000 is going to come back to them once they sell that card back off to somebody else. Yeah. So yeah, it just seems like just really messed up.
Yeah. Oh man, the more I learn about this.
So, yeah, they do that.
The more
all the time.
I learn about this, I don't know, Rich. Yeah. I don't know.
A lot of companies do this. Anyway, okay, moving on. Okay, so did you see the article with the 6 most biggest collectibles that have skyrocketed in value recently?
I forgot the first. I forgot the first 4, but the last 2 I remember, and I'm astounded that Tamagotchis and Furbies are on that list. I saw people destroy Furbies.
Yes. So that's the crazy thing, right? Is I totally agree with you. I did not think they were going to be on the list because I thought anybody who collected them just forgot about them at this point. Like, you know, it's too late.
Well, dude, there's a guy online that makes like electro music using analog synthesizers, and he made like a Furby organ. So he had like 200. He took 200 Furbies, gave him like laser lights. Like you can find it on YouTube. Like just look up like Furby or Furby organ or Furby analog music, and he literally took like 200 Furbies, linked them all together, made their eyes open and made sound. So as he's playing music, it looks like these Furbies are singing. I think in total he had like 400 Furbies or something like that because he went through like extra parts. So it was like useless. He was buying them by 20, 30 at a time. And now it's like a collectible. So I don't know how, obviously he doesn't care because he's a musician, but like all these people that sold him the Furbies or like that were throwing them away, like how do they feel about it now? You know, like, I mean, and Tamagotchi, like how can you, like, okay, Tansi bought a Tamagotchi, like my wife bought a Tamagotchi like not long ago.
Recently.
For
okay.
Yeah, like like the one that has like 37 animals in one or whatever, and then like she literally, the Tamagotchi would not leave her alone. She's like, how do you turn this off? This is so dumb. I can't believe I did that, right? But like, how do you the original release ones? Like I had like 3 or 4 that I've tossed, when
I know,
we how many did we get confiscated in the classroom when they were like,
so many. So many. And the crazy thing is, like, I up until recently, I did not know that these things were still selling. I got my hands on a Furby, and that thing was probably the fastest selling thing I've sold on eBay. Maybe barring 3 or 4 other items, right? Like I had this thing listed, and in a matter of days, that thing sold and sold double in price. I could have probably asked for more money and got more money for that thing. Like I paid I bought it at an estate sale for like $25. I sold it for like $65, and I probably could have sold it for over $100. I mean, easily, and then the Tamagotchi, same thing. Like I didn't even know that these things were still selling until I picked up.
What were the other 4? I don't have the article in front of me. Do you remember the other 4?
It was Barbie. Obviously, I knew those things would sell.
Yeah, that's never going out of style.
Anything Harry Potter, I knew that was inevitable. And then the other thing that I did not think was still selling, Pez dispensers.
Oh yeah. Oh well, I mean that's an old collectible, my friend. That's.
But who around still remembers what that even is? You
know what it is? I'm don't
40
right?
and I barely
but there are people that were already collecting them as children our age.
Look, even when we were in high school,
I got frozen again. I'm not sure what's going on in your end, but oh no, because like those candies were disgusting. But anyways, it's not for that. It's for the dispenser. Chalk, bro. It's for the dispenser, right? It's for the dispenser. So I don't know.
That was like the collectible thing, right? But I don't know, man. I just think. And then the last thing was Star Wars. Like that was obvious. Like everybody loves Star Wars, even now. I mean, that was obvious. I can.
I mean, I'm considering getting a Star Wars tattoo until this day. Exactly. I'm still considering it. So
that's what I'm saying. Star Wars is like even like if they didn't recently put out these other movies, I could be like, okay, maybe people forgot about it, but people are still talking. And the recent movies were pretty good, so everybody still, like, the younger crowd is
and
back.
The shows and everything. Yeah, it's just.
Like Mandalorian has like brought in a whole new like group of young people back into Star Wars. Like it's wild.
I mean, I have 3 Mandalorian T-shirts. It goes to show you that I am not above it. I am not above it.
It was a great show. I'm not gonna complain. It was fantastic. I've been on the Star Wars bandwagon since I was in diapers, bro. I mean, I love Star Wars.
Whatever. Stop showing off. No one cares. Stop it.
All right, let's move it along. All right. Next article. I threw this article because I thought you would like it. Did you know that somebody remixed the DK Donkey Kong Country opening song and released it on
not only someone, the original composer and the original.
The original composer, and then this new rap artist or somebody. I forgot who it was, Substantial or something like that.
I listened to it. I thought it was very catchy.
Yeah, it was great.
I think it's very cool, sort of nostalgia thing. It's very interesting. So I'm
love
all
that
for
Donkey Kong Country is making a comeback into people's lives. Like it was such a great game back in the day, and now they're.
Well, it was. I think this was the 64 version, right? This was the 64. Not the original Nintendo, but the 60. The 64. Yeah.
Nintendo 64.
I have memories of playing Donkey Kong Country and
for hours. I love that. Yeah.
I don't think I ever finished the game.
Yeah. Really?
I never finished the game.
I finished it a couple of times. I mean, let me tell you, I like Mario and a lot of these other, like Zelda gets a lot of love when it comes to Nintendo. Donkey Kong doesn't always get.
Well, I had a Genesis at home, so all the Donkey Kong Country stuff was playing at a friend's house, so I would never see the end of it because I had
Yeah, that makes
Genesis,
sense.
and
No,
you
no,
know, so
that
there's no
completely.
way I could finish it.
That was the thing that I hated when we were kids is not everybody had all the systems, and when they made like exclusive games for certain systems, you either never got to play it or you had to like hope that you could like try it out at somebody else's house, but you never could like fully play the whole game, you know? Like, can you imagine having like an RPG that's like a 60-hour game and you have to play in 30-minute spurts at your boy's house? Like,
And then like, please don't play without me. Please don't play without me.
Like,
Wait.
don't progress without me. Like, remember you had to wait for all your boys to come in, and you guys would like get like 6 people, and everybody would play a 1-player game together. You know? Yeah. Oh man, those are the days.
Good times,
But,
good times.
yeah, man.
No,
But
it's
it was
very
fun.
cool. I thought that's very cool. I always like video game music whenever they remake it. I always like I regret not going to any of those Halo concerts with the classical, you know, with the orchestras that took place in LA and took place in New York. And I was like, you know what? I had an opportunity and I should have taken it. So I always think like any video game music that's remade or there's a lot of it's like a combination of both. If you love music and you grew up and there's sort of nostalgia factor, but then there's also this creative outlet. And I think that's great. I think, you know, for that one, I'm
here in New York, they're like, I mean, I don't know. I've seen the dates recently, and they every so often they'll come back, and it's a candlelight piano concert, and it's all exclusively Zelda songs from all the different Zelda games. I thought that was awesome. I was like, yeah, I need to go check this out at some point. Yeah, I love when they do shit like that.
That's pretty awesome, man.
Yeah. All right, moving along. So Nintendo had to apparently do some detective work to find out about this guy who pirated Switches, and I have mixed feelings about this. Right, like that's great that Nintendo.
Just a disclaimer: all the ROMs I own the games as well.
I bought the games first.
Me too. I have all the original. I mean, some of them might be at my friend's Michael's house in Long Island, but I do own all of them. I swear.
I own every single title. Yeah. So no. Look. I don't begrudge a company from trying to prevent their IP from being like stolen and manipulated.
No,
but I feel like, you know, just let people play. Like, don't you want people to talk about your games? Like,
yeah, but it's a huge, again, as a business owner, I'm sure you understand. It's a huge profit loss.
Yeah, no, I look, I'm not saying at all that you should not, you know, you protect your products, right? But you know, like, why go out of your way to like do this detective work, pay all this money to investigate this guy, and then press charges
to make an example? Remember those few people that were convicted on Napster stuff? What happened?
I think something's wrong with my microphone.
I could hear you.
Gotta go back to my audio settings.
I could hear you, no worries.
You're having a lot of technical difficulties today.
Oh man, we gotta get you a new laptop, brother, or get you a streaming setup. It's only like $500. Do a full stream setup so you could be a stream sniper.
What just happened?
I can hear you, dude. Okay. The recording's going. I can hear you. Everything's fine. You're mad close to the screen, though. Like, you're mad close. Back up, man. You're too close.
Oh, man.
Dude, I can hear you. Don't worry. Let's just continue. It's still working. So if I could hear you, that means the recording can hear you as well.
Let me disconnect my headphones and reconnect them. All right, are we back? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
But I cannot hear you.
Oh man, we're back to this bullshit.
There we go. All right. We're back. All right. I don't know.
But now your audio is worse.
My audio is worse. Okay, let's see.
Yeah, like you're very muffled.
Okay, let's see.
Okay, that was a little better. I don't know. I think it's like again the noise canceling stuff.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay. All right. Now we're good. Now we're back at it. All right.
Okay. So I forgot what I was saying. Completely forgot what I was saying.
We were talking about the Nintendo pirating, going out of their way.
Yes.
So I like I said, I don't have no problem with them protecting their stuff, but I just feel like it's a waste of time and resources for them to go after somebody who's not really hurting anybody.
No, but as I was saying, I think, do you remember like the people that actually got convicted for Napster piracy stuff?
Yes, I do. I remember that.
My question, not that me and you ever downloaded songs that were not we didn't own.
No,
we never did that.
Care.
No, I'm very law-abiding citizens.
Yeah, exactly.
But do you think that prevented anyone from doing that?
Yeah, 100%. Maybe not like a lot, like as many as they hope.
Maybe not those people who are not like us that downloaded a lot of songs.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Me, I never did.
Yeah,
so
never.
It prevented me
even
immediately.
Before they hear that, yeah, I never did anything. But no,
I was like, wow. I was actually thinking about it, and then the person got convicted, and I was like, oh my God, cannot. No way.
In all seriousness, it definitely deterred a lot of people from pirating and doing anything. I mean, it accomplished what they were trying to do with pressing charges, but I don't think I think they were under the impression, okay, we're gonna convict these people, throw the book at them, and it's all gonna end, right? Like, oh, we're just gonna make a buttload of profit all the time.
No, I mean, look, it changed, right? Spotify became the thing, right? So this is a lot of things have changed, and potentially video games in the future. It's already changing, right? That a lot of video games are streaming. The Steam Deck and everything. Like, you are no longer even having your own PC setup. You're using the virtual machines now. So
exactly,
things will change. But I think I think Nintendo did what they feel they had to do, which. But to be honest, you know what's this gonna create? It's gonna create those people that are obviously way better at hiding their identity on Reddit. I don't know why that dude just he just made a mistake. And then that's what's gonna happen. But it goes to show you again, like, depending where you live and depending the access that you're given to any sort of investigators or internet sleuths or anything like that, it doesn't take much for people to find out who you really are.
Oh,
right?
yeah,
so
your information is so public. Like if you're doing stuff like this, you got to be smarter about your anonymity and like.
Oh yeah, like someone Googled my name. Someone Googled my name the other day, and apparently the video that I did for Newtown's high school reunion thing.
Are you serious?
It's online. Don't Google me.
That's hilarious. You know that's exactly what I'm doing after this.
I know. I don't know why I said it. Oh God. But it ended up. I was not, number one, I was not informed it was going to be. I thought it was only going to be for the event, right? So I did the video. And number two, like, now if you Google my name, it pops up. So I don't even know. I don't want that to. No. I don't want that to be. Like, when someone Googles me, I don't want that to come up. Like, it is what it is. So I'll try to scrub it, but I can't do that, right? Like, it's not possible.
It's expensive to to hire a good company.
Plus, I'm a nobody. Nobody really cares about me.
Unless you're doing like something political, I don't think it's really going to affect you much.
Well, I am planning to run for Lithuania's president, but I'm not a citizen of that. I'm not a citizen of that country, so I don't know how that's going to happen.
Yeah, it's going to be a little difficult. Yeah, definitely not going to be an easy battle.
Can be America's president, can be Indonesia's president, can be Lithuania's president. I think my political career is over at this point.
I think you just give up. Find other avenues to satisfy your life.
Yes, I'm just gonna build I'm building a cul-de-sac in Bali, by the way. So if you want to buy some land with me and expand and be in my neighborhood of villas, you're more than welcome. But that's only to you, Dr. Dennis. Dr. Dennis not allowed.
He's not allowed. He's not allowed.
I'm just joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. Don't tell him I said that. He's gonna be so mad. Don't tell him I said that.
Sure. Okay, let's move along. Next article. There was an article, Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo consoles market isn't growing. So
surprise, surprise. I don't know.
Yeah, right. Like that. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all. Like everything's going cloud, and especially like, did you see that Apple now has a video game side of like their I guess company, and so like if you have Apple TV, if you have like something like that.
Yeah, I mean Netflix does too. It offers games on your phone and tablets. It's just
something.
It doesn't surprise me. I feel like
games.
Yeah, and consoles are, again, they will become it'll become those things
they're becoming the way of dinosaur, because they're, number one, they're expensive and they're bulky, right? Like a PlayStation and an Xbox, they're not small devices. They're big.
God, dude.
Yeah, they're huge.
My PlayStation is so large. I'm like, this might as well be a PC.
I know, but even like the Nintendo Switch, which is much smaller, but you still need a significant amount of space when you're docking it, right? When you dock it and you're playing on your TV, like it's not completely. I mean, it's small, it's pretty small, but it still takes a little space, and you got to have cords and cables and all that other stuff, right? So, like when you have everything on the cloud and you can access it from anywhere, and all you need is a Steam Deck or even just like your PC or your laptop, and you just have a gamepad, a wireless gamepad. I mean, that seems a lot more appealing for any real gamer. I mean, you tell me, am I wrong?
No, I mean, look, I still enjoy. So there was a time period that I said I told you I skipped a generation of consoles. Like I went from 360 all the way to PlayStation 5. Like I didn't buy anything in between, right? But I had a gaming laptop, and I did hook up my controller, and I played a whole bunch of other games, and I hooked it up to my TV, and it was on my gaming laptop. I was not playing. I hooked it up to my large screen TV. I had sitting on my couch and playing on my controller. So for that time, I didn't need to. I didn't need a console because my gaming laptop did it for me, And then a lot of, and I'm looking at my nephews now, and my nephews are now starting to play computer games, right? Because both of them are mostly on their phones. Their ages are 7, 11, or 7 and 10, and they're on their phones, they're on the tablets, and now the older one is transitioning into PC gaming. And even away from from the console gaming. So he sits in front of the PC with his headphones on, with a mouse, and like he's playing first-person shooters, but it's like super childish, unlike the experience of playing Doom at his age, or even earlier than that. We were running around shooting demons and blood and gore and Mortal Kombat, and he's like shooting paintballs at like some cutesy birds. Way better. Graphics are way better, but like it's like the violence is turned down, but the gameplay mechanics are still the same. So I'm like, you're still shooting things. It might as well just make it bloody, But I get it, but I completely understand it. It makes total sense to me, and I feel we're gonna move over. And plus, these consoles now require you, like most games require you to be connected to the internet anyway. So like, why do I want to do that? Like, I could buy PC games. I don't have to be connected to the internet. I can play it. I could be on my phone. I'm already connected anyways. Like, I don't need this expansion.
No, I think it makes more sense to have like a computer, a desktop, or a laptop, right? Because number one, especially if it's a powerful one, it can play any generation of video games, even PlayStation 5 quality games, and then it's also a device that can do other things when you're not playing video games, right? So there's a lot more appeal to have something that's a 2-in-1 versus something that's just a video game console that's not going to be.
Did you see that there's a controller console now, right? There's a controller console. No, not Steam Deck. Steam Deck still has.
For the PlayStation. It still has the PlayStation Portal.
I don't know what it has no screen. It's just the controller, and it's a controller console. I don't know if it's one of those, you know, like that only plays retro games.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yes, yes, yeah. It's the virtual game. It's got like 3,000 games in one, and yeah. But it's not just the controller. There's like it looks like a Fire Stick.
No. I know the Fire Stick. I know that I have ROMs. I have, you know, Android boxes that play games that I own all the games, by the way. I own all the games for the ROMs.
Yes,
but now there's you can Google it after this. I saw this recently. It's literally just the controller itself.
But then it would
I
have
don't
to
know.
connect to the TV
I
somehow,
didn't
right?
look. I didn't look into it. It came up as a mechanic. It came up something that was. I was like, oh, that sounds pretty cool. But
I'd have to
I
look
did not
into
look into it. So it's something maybe that we can talk about.
Yeah.
All right, dude.
I mean,
Let's go on to the next topic before we. But yeah,
Yes.
I think the consoles are going down. It's not going to change. People are moving away from it, and the only thing I see that will increase will be like VR sales. That's what I predict. VR will continue to grow as it has been growing, and will continue to expand as the graphics continue to get better. And I'm personally looking forward to purchasing a VR set for myself as well once I build my
Those will
cul-de-sac
be
in Bali,
fun.
but that's like a few years
Yeah.
from now.
No, I had an Oculus, but I sold it. But I have the new one, the newer one. I had like the big one, the one that connected to the PC, and like that was like really powerful. And then I just never found time to use it because it gets bulky and it's like heavy and it's hard to like
Yeah.
play for like more than an hour.
But now they're getting smaller, technologies are
yeah.
getting
Now
better,
I got
like
the
the
Quest. I
radar
got the Quest
sensors are
2.
getting
Yeah,
smaller.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the Quest 2, and even that, like, I like it. It's interesting, but they don't got a lot of really good games for it yet. So once they get more games, like, I want to try
I
the
think
Batman game. I hear that one's pretty good.
Yeah,
But
and I feel major draw to that is the VR interaction that people have, like the VR
yeah,
chat rooms and stuff. I feel
for
like
sure.
that's the thing. Like I sometimes get drawn into the YouTube algorithm of like watching people,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
do
yeah,
like, you know, like they're on like Omegle, and then like they're or chat roulette or whatever, and they're in
yeah,
VR, and then the people are on their phone. They're like, what the hell is this? And like, so I enjoy
yeah.
that content sometimes. I
It's
find it
interesting.
hilarious.
No.
But yeah, there's a huge community that's growing. And again,
Oh
as
yeah,
those graphics
for
continue to
sure.
improve, people will move away from consoles and you know, into
Yeah, I don't.
VR, into tablets, into
Consoles are
PC
yeah,
gaming. And PC gaming has been
they're dying.
growing. PC gaming has been
Oh my God,
growing
it's getting so much
drastically.
more.
Like
Yeah, it's getting so much more mainstream. And before, it used to be like, like only nerds used played PC games and had big rigs. And I
guilty.
was one of those. I was one of the like even one like freshman year of college. I built my first computer rig, and I was like one of the first only ones on campus that had like a sick ass rig where we used to watch videos, high quality videos, and play video games and stuff like that. And like I
I
think
mean,
that
we are talking 20 years ago, my friend. But
yes,
yeah,
that's what I'm
absolutely
saying. This
correct.
is a
Yeah.
long time ago. So no, but what I'm saying is it's a lot more mainstream now, and like even big like esports guys are becoming more like household maybe not household names, but more familiarized with in
Yeah,
public, and it's really
absolutely.
interesting. Yeah. All right,
Yeah.
let's move on. Second to last article before we talk about the review is the I don't know if you remember. Were you a Toxic Crusader fan? Do you remember the cartoon?
So I remember the cartoon. I was not a fan. I sort of skipped that one.
Yeah.
However, because you sent me the article, I did watch the first episode on YouTube.
Okay. You did
So
you?
I watched.
That's
I did.
funny.
I rewatched it again. I think the director, he's quite famous. I think he also did Animaniacs. So there's a lot of
Yeah.
that Pinky and the Brain, and like there's a lot of that humor that sort
Yeah.
of transfers. But their humor was just a little bit too childish for me at this point. Well,
Well,
even at that point,
well, I
whenever it
remember.
came out.
Yeah. Well, I remember liking it as a kid. I mean, I wasn't a religious watcher. Like, I didn't watch it like religiously, but whenever an episode was on, I do remember enjoying the show. Um, but yeah, I could see what you're saying. Like, it wasn't. That's probably why I wasn't hooked on it, and versus like some other shows, like it did seem a little too kind of childish. But it's interesting that it still has a cult following right now, and that it's getting like a remastered collector's edition is coming out or whatever. And apparently they're also
during
talking
COVID, I
about like
rewatched all Pinky and the Brains.
yeah, I mean,
I rewatched
some of
all Pinky and the
some of
Brains
that
during
stuff
COVID.
still holds up. I recently watched Boy Meets World, and I'm not gonna lie, I was like, that shit holds up. Like I still enjoyed that show. Same thing with like Doogie Howser. Do you remember that? Like I
Oh
watched
my
that shit.
God.
I was like, that was a classic, dude, and it still holds up. Still a good show. Neil Patrick Harris all day. I love that dude. That guy's great. Anyway, all right. Let's.
Yeah,
Let's
I mean,
go.
it doesn't make sense. I'm not too excited about it. It makes no difference to me. It's in Blu-ray.
Yeah,
How
I'm
much
not
more
either.
graphically better can
I
it
just,
be
I
than
just,
regular?
I highlighted this because I was so surprised that it had such a big cult following still to this day, where people.
I mean,
Like,
if there are some Toxic Avenger fans out there, please let us know. Maybe we're in the wrong. Like maybe it
well,
gets
no,
better
see,
at
that's
episode.
different.
Maybe at
So,
episode 3, it becomes like this amazing show that we just never
no,
got
but
to.
that's actually funny you said that, right? Toxic Avenger and Toxic Crusader are two different shows. So,
Oh, correct. Sorry.
yeah, yeah.
I meant to say Toxic Crusader, not Toxic Avenger. I know
Toxic
a Toxic
Avenger is actually
Avenger.
a bigger show than this. Like that was an even more famous show than this one. This was, I think, Toxic Avenger was live action. No, was it? Yeah, it was live action. Yeah.
I've
But
watched
anyway.
it. I've watched it.
Yeah, I watched it. I wonder if that one holds up now if I watch it. I don't know if it would, but anyway, let's move along to the last topic of the day. It is your review choice. I plowed through the whole thing in 2 days.
Please tell me your brain melted.
Okay, so I got mixed feelings about it. Like.
So what are we talking about? What
good.
are we talking about first? What are we talking about? Scavenger's Reign, right? We were talking about Scavenger's Reign.
Yes, you're talking about Scavenger's Reign. It is a HBO original, HBO Max original TV show that it aired like a few months ago originally, I think.
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember when it came out, but it's been a couple of months back, 3, 4, 5, 6 months back. I don't remember.
Yeah, something like that. So I originally started it, and it was like really weird and intense in the beginning. And I'm gonna say it only progressively got weirder and more intense as you progress. And the thing that I liked it. I'm not gonna say I didn't like it. It is one of those things where I watched it, I liked it. I'm never gonna rewatch it again.
Probably.
Yeah, right. Like I probably would if somebody asked, I'm not gonna go out of my way and be like, "Yo, you guys gotta all watch this show. It's like the craziest show in the world." But
no.
If somebody watched it and they want to talk about it, I'd be like, "Yeah, it was a good show. I liked it."
It's an acquired taste. The best way I can describe it is if you've never like myself, if you've never taken acid before and you want to know what it feels like to take acid. Please watch that.
It is. But okay. I want to disconnect those two things because number one, if my mom, I hope my dad's never watching this or whatever. But acid's one of my favorite things in the world, and this is a very dark acid trip. If this is a freaking acid trip, like if you're having an acid trip and this is the direction
you've taken too much. You've taken too much. You've taken too much. You've gone to the deep end of the pool. Exactly. You need to leave.
You had a really bad mental state before you even took that drug, bro. Like you were not in a good mental place. You should have never taken that drug to begin with. You should reevaluate your life before you start going into drugs like that, because that shit got dark.
Oh no.
That shit gets this show gets really dark and
really dark.
And
really dark. Really quick. Really dark, really quick.
And everybody
it's so intriguing. The beginning few episodes, you're like, oh my god, this is a crazy world. How will they survive? And then you're like, oh my god, how will they die?
Yeah, like literally everything is out to kill them. It's magical and it's beautiful, but it's trying to kill you. It's like constantly. That is like the premise of the entire show. That is literally like at every turn they see the most beautiful thing in the world, but 2 seconds later, that thing is about to murder them. You know, like,
Oh, dude, that
like
that
it's,
that the possessed man through the whole thing, the possessed
oh my
man, you
God.
know, with that.
Dude, yeah, inside the belly of that
Oh,
beast that had
oh my
telekinesis,
God,
that was
oh my
literally
God, man,
snapping people's neck
so
every chance
scary,
it got. Like
so
every time it
scary.
encountered a human, it literally picked it up and tried to twist its neck around. Like that is
Yeah,
evil. Like why?
folded
Why?
backwards.
Yeah.
And
And then the
all for food, all for
all for,
food,
but like
all
just
for food.
but the crazy thing is then it became a
It's like
cannibal
a
too.
parasite.
The guy brought in one of its own species and it freaking ate the thing. Like that show was just crazy. And then like it reminded me of like Attack on Titan or Game of Thrones, right? Because literally you could not get invested in a character because that character
Mm,
was going to probably die or meet a very horrible end. Because even at
very
the end of
horrible death.
the show ends in a really depressing way, man.
Very, very
Like,
sad. It's very
like
sad.
number one, okay, yes, some people
Like
survive,
you have hope the entire time. You have hope,
and then at the
and
very
then
end, but not only that, but at the very end, okay, big spoiler alert. If you're gonna watch the show, you probably don't want to hear the rest of what I'm gonna say, but okay.
yeah, don't listen.
And then the very last like 5 seconds of the show, that fucking plant thing gets out into the universe. So now the idea is this thing is gonna conquer the whole fucking universe, and we like what is that? Is that world gonna become like? Is that the universe gonna become the rest of the universe gonna become like that world? Because that doesn't seem like a very positive outcome for the universe.
No,
You know, like,
no.
like I don't see how that's a like
But it's a
like
very,
but
it's
that's
a
also
very
part of
again,
why I like it,
it's a
right? Because
very, very unique. It's a
that's what I'm
very,
saying. That's
very
part of why
unique
I like it.
show.
And I'll go as far as to say I loved it. Like it was good. It was really really good. It was
Yeah.
beautifully told. The
Yeah,
artwork
there
is great.
there are some episodes that like really make you think. Like the one where the lady is like walking through the woods and she has the whole existential experience of something being
Yes,
born, living, and
yes,
dying all
yes.
in one.
All in
Like
that one
and
thing,
like
and it communicated with her telepathically, and then. And like I also like her character, right? Is because she was like a botanist and like a farmer, and she like the world kind of just spoke to her. She figured it all out. Like she was the reason why they got as far as they did, right? And then the other thing that it was like a lot of it's so heartbreaking, right? Like like that
yeah,
part like you're talking about, like right after that, she has like this really heartbreaking moment with that dude where she's like, yo, I don't need you, but you need me. Like I was like,
yeah,
damn, dude, that is
yeah.
rough. That is
What about
like you
that?
guys
What
just
about
survived the
what
craziest
about the
shit.
old lady? Remember the old lady episode? Like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
survivor
yeah.
that
Like
they
she
oh
saved his
man.
life, but then you realize no, she didn't save your
No,
life. She infected
no.
you. She infected you with this alien virus or parasite. like
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
no, dude. That
She used you as a vessel to expand the spores of
Yeah.
this virus.
But then
Like
when you find out about her story, it's even more
it's
tragic.
all
Like,
heartbreaking.
yeah,
I
like
know.
that's
I
what I'm saying. Like
know.
the
Oh
whole
my
show,
God.
just like progressively, like if you weren't depressed, like if you weren't a depressed person, that
Oh
show
yeah,
made you depressed
don't
by the
watch
end of
that.
it.
Don't watch
That's
that.
what I'm saying.
I think Tanti
It was,
quit like halfway through, or like
I know
maybe she
it's just
finished it with me,
dark,
but she's
man.
like, this show is so difficult to watch. I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah, I know, but
it is,
I need
man.
to
It is
finish it. I need
really,
to know what
it is
happens.
it is really difficult to watch, and like I said, I loved it. I thought it was a beautiful piece of art. Like it's pacing, dialogue, like script, everything, cinematography.
Yeah, yeah.
It was great. It was great. Like beginning
It
and end.
was.
But like I said,
But
I would
it's
never
hard.
watch
It's
it again.
heart wrenching.
I would
It's heart
never watch
wrenching.
it again. Yeah, it is
So, are you
so
gonna watch season two?
good.
Are you
Yes.
gonna?
Yes, I'm gonna watch season 2. Wait, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I'm prepared mentally, man. I need to like it's like one of those things
I'm
that
gonna need a lot. I'm gonna need a lot of happiness juice
that's what
before
I'm
I
saying.
watch
Like
that one.
before I watch that show, I need to have like the best day of my life and then I'm gonna be like, okay, I'm ready to watch.
You need to like offset it. You have to have a show ready, like Parks and Rec or something that's funny, like and lighthearted after that, because it's like consuming a large meal of sadness.
Yeah, it is. It is like it's gonna take up all of your mental fortitude or faculties just to deal with it. Because
I'm sorry I recommended it to you, but I'm not sorry because I wanted you to watch it. But it had nothing to do with like, you getting depression or anything like that. I just wanted you to see this piece of art, right? So
and I
since we talk about anime a lot and other things, and I figured like if you haven't, like, it's for some reason, again, the two things I recommended have been very depressing. The same thing with like Mars Express and this one, right? Like it's just like really
Mars
sad
Express
stuff.
Was like existential, like that was rough to watch too, man. Look, don't get me wrong.
Also, Terminator, right? For some reason, all of these have like not happy endings. I don't know, man. I'm sorry.
Man. This might have been the most like honestly, like and again, I really liked it. I just, man, like it just gets really depressing. Like it's like all the way to the beginning. Like it starts off really cool. Like, oh, that seems really interesting. Like what could potentially happen? And then by the end of it, I just want to cry. Like I just want to.
I know. I think I sat in silence for like while the credits. I just sat there like, oh man. I think I took like 4 or 5 deep breaths.
Yeah, I was like, did I just watch like Alive? Like, remember that movie Alive? Like where that guy had to like eat everybody, all his best friends in the whole world. I felt like that. Like I felt like that after the movie. Like, yes, this was climactic, but I don't know what to do with all these emotions. Like it was a lot, man. It was really intense. But again, it was a piece of art. Like it was really good. I mean, whoever the director, hats off. I mean, that was and the writer.
No, it was great. It was great. It was
really
great.
good.
It was visually very stunning.
Oh yeah, it was beautiful artwork. I mean,
and again, they got the message. Whatever their message was, they got it across, right? Because me and you both have been affected by watching it, so I feel it accomplished its task.
Well,
it just that the task was to make you sad.
Right? Yeah, the task was to make you sad. It also highlighted
and think and contemplate and like alien 100%. Worlds and like is it worth it? Like what's gonna happen if we go there?
It also kind of had this like it made you think about what the future is gonna look like for industry if we were to ever like go out in space and colonize other worlds, and then like it also. Like just the whole fact that like this huge corporation just left these people out there to die because they made a mistake and like they were expended.
You know what? I might watch Alien Romulus today. I don't know.
Oh my God. Because that's too much, dude. I don't think I can handle that much dark. I need something lighthearted after that. And get back to having like a nice, happy, cheery, go-lucky mindset, and then I'll watch.
Yesterday I ended up watching Ronin with Robert De Niro. Like least one. Yeah, once a year.
That was a good movie.
But once a year, like once every couple of years, I rewatch that movie just because the car scene chases are so cool and they're filmed in real time. And then so that was pretty dope. If, by the way, if you haven't, I know we talked about this, but potentially the show's not going to end by next week when we do our next episode. But if you're not watching it, I would recommend checking out The Day of the Jackal. I think it's a very, very intriguing show.
I heard, so I listened to this podcast about like serial killers and stuff, and there was a commercial on that for that show. It seemed interesting. Is that based off of the movie The Jackal?
I don't remember the plot of the movie, but
because it's about an assassin, right?
It's about an assassin, but I would say it's closer to. Remember the recent Michael Fassbender movie where he's an assassin? Did you watch that one? Michael Fassbender, he played the robot in Prometheus.
No, I don't think I've seen that one.
So it's closer to that, I would say. It's not necessarily.
What is it called again?
The Day of the Jackal.
Not
the Michael Fassbender movie.
No, what's the Michael Fassbender one called?
Just Google it. Michael Fassbender assassin. It'll come up. It was a Netflix original, I think.
I'll have to check it out. But yeah, I mean, I just from the commercial, it sounded like an interesting show.
It's interesting because it's the actor that's from Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, the main actor from there.
Guy? Oh yeah.
He plays the main character there. There's technically a duality happening between the assassin and the MI6 agent trying to catch him. Yeah. And how their lives are also very similar and kind of happy and sad at the same time. Well, mostly sad. So maybe you shouldn't watch that.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I need to get back to a more positive mind state after that TV show. But I'm not regretting that I watched it. I did enjoy it. Anyway.
Cool.
All right. So those are all the topics for today. We'll come back next week again with another set of topics. Hope you guys.
Wait. Before we go. I think yesterday there was a release of a fan film made sort of 10-minute movie, 12-minute movie for Batman Beyond. Remember we talked about that? That would be a great. Oh, you saw it already?
I saw that. Yes, I saw it.
I watched it as well.
It looked interesting. Yeah.
Oh, you haven't watched it yet? It's literally they take a beginning
I watched, like, the first
of
minutes of it.
Yeah, they take the beginning of one of the episodes and they remake it pretty much. It's the main character plus a girl that he likes. It's from what I remember, it's been a long time since I watched Batman Beyond. I'm probably gonna go and rewatch the whole series now. But they take the beginning of one of the episodes and sort of remake it in this like 12-minute interval. Obviously it's fan film, so there's a little bit of amateur stuff, like their graphics are not that great, like you can see, but it's cool. It's a cool take.
Some of them are getting pretty good. Like some of the fan stuff that people are putting out are getting pretty damn good.
Man, the Star Wars stuff is, if you've never dove into the deep end of the Star Wars stuff, the fan films are amazing.
Fan-made Star Wars stuff, they're really good. Yeah, like they could be an actual TV show.
Absolutely. All right. I'm sorry I interrupted your closing.
That was a good diversion. But anyway, thank you for watching. Hope you guys watch again, and like, subscribe, and leave a comment, and hope to see you guys again. Peace out.
Bye. Thank you.